I'm Phil. I'm Nilden.
I'm Raz.
I'm gonna bust his ass.
I'm Brandon.
Slide jobs by the dozen out here.
Hello, this is Thomas.
Here. Pisser.
I'm John.
Sit down the back straightaway for the final time.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
This is the Dirty Slider Podcast. Don't let a slider get your ass kicked. All right, Slider Nation, welcome into another episode of the Dirty Sliders Podcast, episode 68. Next week's going to be a shit show, I'm sure. Cheers. We got a guest tonight, CJ Marin. Is it Marin or Marin?
Marin, like the.
Okay.
I mean, if you
Like-
say
like-
it correctly, it's Marin.
Marin?
Marin, like the county.
Marin.
All right, I'm going to say it like the county.
I'm your diversity hire today.
A fellow racer and a longtime friend of the program, so we're happy to have him on board. We're going to get into his life, evidently glamorous jet setter life from what we were hearing before we started.
Oh, shit.
But we want to start this episode off by paying tribute to some true heroes, the World of Outlaws officials that one of them tragically lost their life due to a emergency vehicle accident at the Kendale Speedway. So Billy Hurt, who I've actually met, he works Chili Bowl. He's there every year. Anybody who is out there to protect racers, we're obviously big fans of. Jerry Meyers is the other official who was hurt and is still in the hospital. I did see like a GoFundMe to help him with his medical expenses. But these guys were hurt and killed on the way to a scene of a crash at a racetrack for World Outlaws sprint cars. So it's kind of a bummer. So this show will be in tribute to those two guys. And then with that, I'm going to throw it right to our guest, CJ Marin, firefighter.
Marin.
Firefighter, race car driver, all-around nice guy,
All-around stud.
father, husband.
Oh, shit. Put the guns
Look at
away.
the gun show.
You've been working out on duty, haven't you?
Suits. Well, what else do I do? How's it done?
Wash your truck.
I know. I'm in charge. I point to people to go do it.
It's fine.
So start us off. Give us your introduction. Tell us about yourself. What got you into racing? What got you into firefighting? How'd you end up with such cute kids?
My wife mostly for that. That's a quick one.
Yeah, it was.
That's what she said too.
Both times. So I'm CJ. Like I said, I'm
And how do you say your last name?
Marin.
There we go.
You guys want to
dirt
guess
dude.
what my actual first name is? Does anybody actually know?
Constantine.
That would be cool. No, it's Carlos actually. My name is Carlos Alberto Marin.
So,
Where'd the J come from?
Junior, homie.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be Junior? Junior.
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 John, if you're listening, bud, you just figured out 6 different ways to tell this guy's name over the speaker at the track.
Orderly Vato.
Let's go, homie.
He can have his own class with
Next
just
time
his
I'm on
name.
the mic, I'm going with Carlos.
Just say I'm gonna
That
just
is
put,
Marin to the
I'm gonna
front.
put Suave on my sun visor next season, I think.
Oh, see, that would be cool. That'd be cool. I like that.
completely-
Why wait till next season? It just started.
This
Yeah,
completely changes
but,
my outlook on you, bud. You went from CJ Marin to CJ Marin.
Marin.
You're a little cooler. A little cooler.
It's a little bit cooler.
So the first time we met you, Carlos, you had just got a Dwarf car and were looking for some help and brought up to the shop in Barona, and Nielsen and I were helping you dial it in a little bit. And you
kind of.
done a ton
What-
since then, had a bunch of other people, and you're not even anywhere close to that car anymore. It's a whole new
no.
deal.
Yeah. I got into racing. I've been doing racing stuff since I was a kid. My dad raced like Supercross and stuff back in like the 70s and 80s. So I started racing motocross when I was really little. Went into go-karts when I was like 9 or 10. I did the road racing thing, raced F2000, raced Tatis Renault for Paladin Motorsports out of Corona while I was in high school. And family ran out of money, but I raced against some guys like Marco Andretti and Conde Felipe, and guys who have made careers out of racing, road racing, but they had money or names. But so I just raced motocross for a while, and I wadded up pretty bad. I won the national championship in my class in fire police motocross, and I wadded up pretty bad at Glen Helen. And I said, man, I gotta do something else. And it kind of threw a random occurrence. I posted something on the Barona Speedway fan page about being interested in dwarf cars or lightning sprints. And another firefighter actually had an Arizona dwarf car that scared the crap out of his kid, and they were interested in getting into dirt bikes. So I did a 1-for-1 swap with him with my older dirt bike, and that's how I got into dwarf cars. And that was when I met you and Neilton at the tire shop. And since then I did 1 year in the dwarf cars. I raced with John, who's of course not here. And
Becoming a habit.
We're both fighting for rookie of the year. I'm gonna talk a little shit, but he beat me. Even though when my car didn't break, I would lap him. So
That's fucked up.
so
Man's not here to defend.
Well, let's
himself.
give
that's
John
fault.
and you both credit. You were both in piles.
yeah. But I did do some work too. I added like a front brake. I tried to make it better. But,
You both tried to make it as good as you could, but a turd's a turd. Doesn't matter how much you polish it.
But did you
yeah,
flip
it was
on
polished,
the
man.
front straightaway after the checkered flag?
No, I didn't flip until I started racing lightning sprints. Then I flipped that like almost immediately. I did the lightning sprints for a couple years. I just couldn't financially keep up with guys buying new motorcycles to have 50 more horsepower than I do out of the box. And so I found this B&B dwarf car, which is actually Darren Brent's old car, and had it all updated. And been having fun with it since being back in the dwarf cars. I think they're a lot of fun to drive, and like his tradition, I've had a terrible start to the season, but it tends to incrementally get better as the season goes on. So hopefully we keep that going. But I'm a fire captain, and I work at Spring Valley, and I have a beautiful wife, 2 kids, and one's a kindergartner, one's a little more than a year old, and just living the dream.
Yeah, your kids are almost the same exact age of mine.
I think so. Yeah, they're pretty damn close.
They're within a year of each other. I got 1.5 and a 5.
Yeah. So my daughter turns 6 in 12 days, and my son is like a year and 4 months. Yeah, so it's pretty close. But
Were we at the same
they're all
races at the same time? About a year and a half ago.
weird. Just rotate. Or just let's take this. Something was in the water. I don't know.
Something for sure. It was a good night. At least for us. The wives, they may have realized it happened.
It was enjoyable.
I don't tell my wife this, but it's a drag race. First to the finish wins. She figures it out, I'm screwed.
So
Doesn't
one
really
of the things,
change my day regardless.
one of the things you did last year, which I thought was really cool, was you did a real throwback paint scheme, which throws back to the very, very legendary Porsche Le Mans cars. Am I right? Is that what that's the inspiration for that was?
Yeah, the old Gulf racing livery, the baby blue with the orange and the big white ball number in the middle.
Yeah, it looks sick. I really love the way it looks.
Yeah, everybody seems to like it, so I'm like, guess I'm gonna stick with that forever.
You have your niche.
Yeah, hey, people know me. Kind of a big deal.
No, now we know you. Carlos Marin.
Marin. Suave.
Junior.
Junior.
Just say
Junior.
junior, Brandon.
Junior.
He put some flair on it.
One year.
So, you also are a Formula One fan, we found out, and have traveled to some pretty legendary venues. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
guy
I-
that don't
I-
have money for lightning sprints, but can travel the world.
Well, what's more important?
Priorities.
Happy wife, happy life. I'm not a big traveling person. My wife likes to travel. So I basically told her, well, I only want to go to different Formula One races. So that was the trade-off. So I actually randomly convinced her on our honeymoon. We took a cruise out of Daytona. And while we were there, the St. Petersburg IndyCar race was going on. And I told her, I said, hey, do you want to go to that? We had never been to any racing besides Supercross or anything before. And she was like, yeah, I'm down. So, yeah, so I'm very convincing. Even on my honeymoon.
I tell my wife the
yeah,
same
so-
thing. Hey, buddy, we can travel anywhere in the world as long as there's a race going on.
I've
long as there's a
seen
race,
I've seen both of your wives, and both of you are obviously very convincing.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Well,
very
we're not
convincing. I'm
funny
no-
and we're not rich. So there's only one option left.
Convincing it
something.
is. You don't have to light a kick it. We'll be here for the next hour.
But yeah, I've been been following Formula One my whole life. My son's name is Enzo. I tried to go for Ayrton, but my wife wasn't digging it. But
Oh, that would have been awesome.
I know. I thought that'd be cool, but she wasn't down with it. But when I was in high school, I went to the U.S. Grand Prix when it used to be in Indianapolis, and that place is a shithole. I heard it's gotten better, but it used to fucking suck. But went to Montreal. That was super rad. It's like a huge party down because it's like almost downtown. And so that was really cool. Been to Silverstone in England in this airfield. And if you ever want to do something incredibly fucking difficult for no reason that'll just make your life stressful for no reason, go to England, get a standard shift car, a little Renault 1 fucking like cylinder, 1 liter, and try to go uphill on grass from a right-hand drive. And see, in traffic, and see, just if you get stressed, see if you're fine. Because I did that. And it
This
was
sounds like
not
a good
recommended.
episode.
It was not fucking recommended. It was.
Do we got
it was
any
different.
videos of that by chance?
I wish my wife would have just recorded it because just spinning the tires, just hoping to grab, and because there's no power in those stupid things. Like you push the clutch down and you just give it a little bit of tiny throttle, and the thing fucking red lines immediately. Ning, 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 ning. But then you lift the clutch out a little bit, and it has a little bit of load. Slight
Where's
grade
that
of
torque?
this little tiny Renault. But that was a cool race. It's England is really rad. London's a cool city. Last time we went back to Europe, we spent a few extra days in London because it's such a cool spot. It's such a huge city. Very interesting though, because like the city, when you leave London, there's like a wall, and they're like the city stops, and then you're just in the country. It's very, very bizarre compared to like what we see with cities. But I've also done did Monaco a couple years ago. That was an incredible experience because the race is dog shit. It's just a processional and
Well, Monaco
that's
is
Formula One.
qualifying.
yeah. I mean, like look at when Charles Leclerc won 2 years ago, which was like every Ferrari fan's dream. That, but I mean, they had a red flag at the start of the race. They changed tires, and then they just went 10 seconds slower than qualifying for 70 laps. Because there was they didn't have to change tires, so it's like just manage the tires and just stay just in front. You can't pit again, because you're never gonna pass anybody. So
Boring race or not, that race is on my bucket list just because of the venue.
The venue
it
is the list.
Yeah, it is incredible, and there's a lot of services.
Well, how did you do
that
it?
could get you like a tour service. And
Well, tell us the story.
oh yeah, so it's Grand Prix Adventures is the company. So the first day you go, or the reason we went with this is because my wife was adamant. She's like, if we're going to Monaco, I want to be on one of the yachts for one of the sessions. And I'm like, well, the cheapest one is to do is practice. So go in for practice because that's the cheapest one. Yes. But and so we go in for the. They actually have to ferry you out there. So when you go on the ferry, the teams are all staying on super yachts outside of the harbor. So we're coming in and we see, you know, Max Verstappen coming in the Red Bull boat, like little ferry thing and all this shit. That's when they had the F40 on top of the super yacht. That was like that big famous image of that was that week. And I'm like, holy shit, you have your expensive shit on your really expensive shit. Fuck you.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that was pretty strong flex.
Yeah, I mean, like, just look at you could have a micro penis at that point. Like, it doesn't even matter. So we go on the yacht. I convinced my dad, who's in his 80s and just incredibly cheap, to come with my brother-in-law. We came to, and so we go on the yacht and watch the whole thing. We're, you know, there's drinks there. We're just having drinks, and the drinks are all included. And so we you know, a lot of the people start leaving. You know, the session's end, and we're like, hey, so like, when do we have to get off? And they're like, oh, you know, you can stay as long as you want. So like another like hour or two goes by, and we're like man, there's like, you know, a group over here that's, you know, they're still partying too. And the guy comes like, hey, you guys like the last like ferry to leave is like gonna leave like right now if you guys want to get like back on land, but you guys have to go. I'm like, oh, sorry, we didn't know. You know, these people are still here, you know, partying too. We thought, you know, it was cool. They're like, oh no, they're staying on the boat. Everybody in your tour group left hours ago. So we just kept drinking all their alcohol. Did not realizing we were supposed to leave. I'm like, we asked. Yeah, so that was really cool. The next 2 days we were in above the track and in different hotels or apartments around the track, through like Beau Rivage and stuff. And after the race is over, the sessions are over for the day, they open up the track for people to walk. And so you can walk up, you know, through the tunnel where, you know, the cars are going 200 something miles an hour and screaming through, but now there's just regular traffic. And you could go to La Rascasse, which is just a bar. The turn is named after the bar. You go to the bar, and so actually after the feature race, or the feature dirt track, right? After the race on Sunday, traditionally, since Bernie Ecclestone in the 70s, Monaco is always, and it's changed this year, so just in case anybody doesn't know that, Monaco has always been, or for the last 30 years, has been the same day as the Indy 500. So probably one of the coolest things I've done is stand around with a bunch of other race fans while they cut the music in a club to pay the last 10 minutes of the Indy 500 at La Rascasse in Monaco. That was pretty fucking cool. But yeah, so that was really cool, man. But this year it's me and my wife's 10-year anniversary, so we're gonna go to Monza. Go to Italy and watch the Cathedral of Speed, watch Ferrari. That's what I want to do for my 10-year anniversary, is go watch Ferrari in the promised
in Italy.
land, so. Yeah. In Italy.
And which package did you get? Because I'm looking now.
Grand Prix Tours is what I went through with.
Grand Prix Adventures?
No, so Grand Prix Adventures is what I did for Monaco. It's way more expensive. But Grand Prix Tours is what I did.
This one's only $14,000 a person.
Grand Prix Tours it was 7 total. So with tickets and everything. And we did Grand Prix Tours for Canada and Indianapolis too. So we were pretty happy with them. At least my dad was, because I was like a teenager. My dad paid for it, so I don't.
So I hate you. Get the fuck out.
No.
And thanks for coming. Bye-bye.
So how many years have you raced at Barona?
This is my 4th year. I think it's 4th year. Yeah. 4th or 5th. Yeah, I think it's 4th. It's 4th.
That can't be right. That can't be right, because you raced 1 year of dwarf cars. You raced at least 2 years of lightning sprint, and this is your 2nd year in the dwarf car again.
Yeah.
Welcome. My name is Marshall. I'll be your PR rep.
I have also played rugby for like 20 years, and I've had a lot of head wax.
I hope for your sake you got your wedding anniversary right, because she will listen to this.
Funny thing is, she got it wrong for quite some time, and there's a sign above our door that has our anniversary, and I'd still give her shit about that. She said it wrong like 5 or 6 times, and I just kind of let her. It was funny. And then I'm like, oh yeah, so
let's be honest. No, not only was it funny, but it was a get out of jail free card for you too.
Oh yeah, it's great.
So CJ, since you've been doing the Dwarf cars and Lightning Express, do you just plan on staying in those at Barona, or you want to go to a modified? Do you want to do something, with some big, heavy horsepower?
I think I have a lot of fun in the Dwarf cars. I mean, and I don't mean to insult anybody here. I think it's the best racing at the track. The track's not big, it's not wide, and they're the only cars that pass each other.
How many laps did you guys get this past Saturday?
Easy there.
About as many as you guys. You know what the main difference is, Thomas?
We got 20.
4 green flag laps.
You guys also went 10 minutes over your guys' allotted time, and we didn't. They cut us off at 10 minutes because
But
you
they
guys
also had more
got
more
20.
laps completed by the time they got to their 20-minute mark.
Yeah, but there were 7 cars. We're like 9
I
cars.
didn't argue car count. I just
Okay,
said that
so
they had more time.
Since Thomas,
It's
since
a lot
Thomas,
harder to crash when there's no one there.
so since
Well,
Thomas,
Thomas made it look easy.
since Thomas opened the door, let's talk about that a little bit. You guys only got 4 laps for your feature event Saturday. Tell us why.
Crashes.
I don't know. I crashed. So probably me.
With the rest of the group, huh?
Well, I don't know what ended up happening overall. I honestly think that the 17 guys, like 6 rookies, and I think the track might have changed from what people thought was going to happen, because I was like somebody went to spin and I hit them, and that put me in the back, because I was just trying to avoid them. And then somebody spun in front of me and I hit the wall rather than making his family or his wife a widow, because I was just going to tee off on him. And so I almost flipped, and that ended my race. But I hit the wall pretty good. I don't know what happened after that. I heard a couple guys others spin. I mean, from what I heard, that it was just strange that the 20-minute rule was only applied to the Dwarf cars and nobody else. But I don't really understand why. I don't know. I don't run the track or anything. So,
So here's my outlook from the announcer's booth on Saturday about this whole 20-minute rule up. It took you 17 minutes to get 2 laps. 17 minutes to get 2 completed green flag laps. So that's part of the problem, whereas the other classes that got over their 20 minutes, front-wheel drive cars had a red flag. They had to wait for an outside ambulance. That took them over their time. Time stops when the first red flag flies. So that's why the front-wheel drive cars had a longer race. Sport mods, they were at like lap 12 or 13, 14, something like that, when they got to the 20-minute mark. So yeah, it took them over. It took them over because they tried green, white, checkered 2 or 3 times before they could actually finish the race. Mm-hmm. But to have 2 laps completed at 17 minutes is not the track's fault by any means. And then when they gave them the warning, hey, we've got 3 or 4 laps in, the next flag's going to end this thing, they proceed to go down into turn 1 and run each other over and have another caution come out.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, and that there's like, I'm sure you guys as classes have like a group chat or something too. And there was basically everybody saying like, what the fuck's everybody doing? I don't think there's a lot of blame for the track for it. It's just that it did get cut when I see, by the time that they gave that order or whatever, that the next flag's going to end it, I was done. I had 2 flat tires, after I hit the wall. And so I was done for the night, but obviously I didn't have my receiver in anymore. I was drinking a Diet Coke, and so
disguised in a Coors Light can,
allegedly.
Don't want anyone to think I'm being healthy.
I'm just carb loading for my shift at work the next day. Yeah, and so I walked up to the stands and they were circulating under caution, and then they pulled off the track. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go load my fucking car back up, I guess. So I just walked back.
In the Dwarf Cars' defense, they wasn't the only division that was a complete shit sandwich to open the season. It seemed like everybody forgot how to race coming back from the off season, because every division had disasters. Even, I mean, the modifieds had like 6 modifieds show up, and they were a disaster for the most part. So it wasn't just the Dwarf cars. It's just you guys took 17 minutes to get 2 laps, whereas everybody else at least got to over 10.
Yeah, which is crazy. But, you know, like you said, I think not that everybody, like, I'm sure not everybody forgot how to race, but I think everybody just got over exuberant, really excited and ready. Wanted, you know, first race of the season. You know, everybody here is there for opening night. Everybody's stoked, ready to get back to racing. It's really strange for the Dwarf cars because last week, or the week prior, we were all racing in Imperial. So, and there were more cars, and we had 26 cars checking in Imperial. Like, and you know, it might there's like, I don't know, like 5 of those guys didn't race at Imperial, but like, why was it such a damn, like, more complicated? You know, I know it's our home track, you know, so people are excited. They want to put on a good show for our home fans. And you know, like my wife will not go to fucking El Centro. It's just not going to happen. You know,
I don't blame her.
I'm not getting her to Mojave. I'm not getting her to fucking Marysville. I'm going to get her to, you know, Ventura, you know, get her to like somewhere by the beach, maybe Santa Maria, best case scenario. But, so you know, everybody's family was there, you know, so I think people are trying to put on a good show, but because that little bit of local pressure, maybe, I don't know. Of course it is disappointing. Everybody seems, at least in our group, seems disappointed that that's the way it ended, you know, because everybody wants to put on a good show.
I was disappointed because those top 5 starting positions was about to put on a damn good show because it was pretty much all the heavy hitters in the Dwarf car division were in the top 6 or 8 positions. That was about to be a phenomenal show had they been able to eliminate part of the field essentially to let those guys have at it because that was just about to get
2
good.
stages of groups. If we would almost do another heat race per se.
Okay, well, switching gears, how long have you been a firefighter, and why did you decide to be a firefighter?
I got in the fire service when I was 16 as a fire explorer in LA County. My reasoning is, I guess, kind of weird. My mom passed away when I was 18. She was deathly afraid of airplanes, and I was doing all the stuff to join the Air Force Academy, and she found out. She said she'd disown me, and so
I thought you were going to say she died in a plane crash.
No,
that's fucked up. Jesus Christ.
Deathly afraid of airplanes, and then she died. And well, she did die, but not in an airplane.
It seemed like you were lining up for that.
Was that like the Isn't It Ironic song, right? But so I stopped paying attention to school because I didn't get good grades anymore, and I was just playing rugby, and I only got like one scholarship offer. And my mom basically told me, like, I grew up in that area. You're not going to school there because you're just going to party and do drugs. And yeah, you're probably right. And then my buddy was going to try to be a junior firefighter, fire explorer, and I went to do it with him. They had like a little tryout interview, like typical Joey, and I passed and he didn't. So he's a firefighter out in Virginia now. So he's fire departments in Virginia week, I guess. But yeah, so I worked, got hired really young. I was a volunteer when I was 19, came to EMT, became medic when I was 21, and I've been working in San Diego County for 15 years. And so it's been fun. It's a fun job. You know, you always feel like you're helping somebody, you know, every day, even if it's like the most benign thing. You know, we like the thing we always talk about is like diabetic wake up. Somebody's blood sugar super low, and then we fix it, and they come back around, and they never want to go to the hospital. But like ultimately, that person was dying. If we don't show up and give them sugar through an IV, they're going to die. So, so it seems like a really benign call for us as paramedics, and they happen all the time. But like, legitimately, that person was going to die. So, you know, so it is always a good feeling. You know, we had a little fire earlier today, and it was, you know, pretty mellow, nothing crazy. And, you know, but our new guy was super excited, took pictures, sent it to his mom. And, you know, so it's, you know, always feel like we're you know, we're out helping, which is cool.
Well, being
last
part of
year I got to see you put your skills to the test in our pit area when that guy fell off the back of the golf cart, and it was
Oh,
just
yeah.
kind of like second nature to you because you just kind of like nonchalantly was like, "Oh yeah, let me run through the basics," and then you were rattling it off to the EMTs at the track, and they were kind of almost clueless when you were speaking paramedic language to them. It's kind of crazy.
It's yeah. I mean, I guess like you do it like anything. You do it long enough, you just kind of become second nature. It's being a medic for this long, and now I mostly just like I'm the captain, so I just point at things and they do it. But yeah, that was an interesting one. Trying to get information from the son, who was definitely not incredibly intoxicated. Who was driving the golf cart, and he didn't know any history about his dad. And I mean, he hit his head with a wet smack. And I was just getting in my car for my main event, and I hear it, and I have my helmet in my hand, and I go, motherfucker! I put my helmet on the top of my car, and I get up to go help, and I'm like, God damn it! Like, I absolutely have to help this guy because this guy is definitely in the age where he's probably on blood thinners and definitely needs to be a major trauma.
Mm-hmm.
Try to explain that to him. Like, you go to the hospital, repetitive questioning starts coming around. And I'm like, trying to explain to him and the family, like, you need to go to the hospital. He's like, no. I'm like, I don't know. I don't even work here, man. And I'm like, hey, you make your own decisions. You're an adult, man.
I gotta go race.
Yeah. I'm like, the ambulance is here now. I don't care. Do whatever.
Yeah, up to them. I don't care anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I did my due diligence and did my best to convince them, like, you might die, but if they don't want to go, they don't want to go. It's happened before. It'll happen again.
Well, I think I speak for all of us when I say we got mad respect for someone who puts themselves out there. The old adage of, if there's a burning building, I'm running away from it, you're running towards it.
Let's go.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great job, and I'm lucky to do it, and it affords me to live the life I live and support my family. My wife is at work, and it's been great.
Yeah, you can afford to go to Monaco.
Bye.
So, okay.
I know Soper had something. Soper, what did you have? I know I cut you off, so I apologize for that.
It's all good. I was just gonna say, being part of the Spring Valley Fire Department, I'm sure you guys get quite busy in the summertime. I know you've done some traveling and stuff with your firefighting things, and just glad that you're there. I feel safe with you being there, and just a good deal.
Oh yeah. We're I've it's unfortunate, sometimes miss races, being around the state fighting fire, but it's part of the job.
Well, we're going to switch gears a little bit and get into some nationwide racing. Well, no, before we do that, let's talk about Thomas and his endeavors at Barona this week.
Boy, I think I hit just about everything on the track except for the freaking front gate. God damn it.
Yeah, I heard about that. You was a little dart without feathers, were you?
Boy, it was wild. We took
Were you
the
hit
start.
the tire?
I did hit the tire. Yep.
Ah, shit.
Yep. So we took the start and then immediately went to caution. The guys in the back got together. I'm still not really sure what happened. Looked like maybe somebody tried to make it 3 wide. It didn't work out, and Hunt ended up having to spin on the front stretch and parked it. So we went back to a full restart. And on the next restart, the guys in front of me kind of washed up the track, and I was pointed in a direction to come down the hill. Coming off of 2 was a straight water puddle. And I hit it, and the car just took a straight dead push, and I was out of the gas. Car pinned all the way left as hard as I can get it. And it's just going from the berm to the outside wall. And Ryan Trim was coming around the outside, and as I was coming up, he clobbered my right side. And I mean, I hate it for him. It shouldn't have happened. I put the car in a bad spot. It happened. We got together and ruined his night. Ended his night. I ended up being all right. I came to a stop. I slid kind of down not on the wall, but towards the wall, bumped that tire on track exit, and kind of ended up halfway outside the track, pointed down the track exit. Backed it up, got it going, started, tail of the field. Restart, got around a couple of guys, had another caution. I was running 4th or 5th, and then next thing I know, 2nd to 4th, all just parked it in turn 2 again. And I made it through all that, and I found myself in second place. So about halfway through, I'm in second, running behind Jason, which is running a good race. I'm just trying to keep up with him and seeing, maybe if he made a mistake, I could get around him. I knew I wasn't ever going to try the berm down in 1 and 2 again. Holy smokes. So end up getting passed by Steven down in turn 3. And, hey, Maggie, be nice. And we had another restart, started single file. Steven got crossed up coming off of 2 because he kind of hit that slime. And I made the moves to come to his inside going into 3 and did the same thing again where the car took a push. I probably had another slop spot in turn 3. And me and Steven got together, and that ended my night. Track promoter said, "You had too much fun, buddy."
And old Steven had a loaf going because that dude was on 2 wheels headed for the fence. Holy smokes.
Yeah, we hit, and all I seen was where the dirt spot was on the bottom of his chassis.
Yeah, that's when you're up too high.
It's rough.
So World of Outlaws is still going. I didn't catch a whole lot of results this week on World of Outlaws except Aaron Reitzel with a win. One thing I did notice in watching somebody else's
You
podcast.
mean high limit?
No.
Yeah, Reitzel.
Did he win at?
Okay.
Aaron
Reitzel won at high limit
on Saturday.
at Vegas.
On Saturday. Okay, no, that's
Yeah.
what I'm thinking. Okay, who won in World of Outlaws then?
They got canceled.
No, they raced one race. Anyway, one of the things I've been taking notice of is Logan Schuhart in that Shark Racing car. They kind of went downhill a little bit last year, but they did something different where the driver's not being the crew chief. They actually hired a crew chief. Wow. Wing. They actually hired a crew chief, and the results are kind of speaking for themselves. He's improved a few positions every race. I think his average finish right now is 5th with a DNF at 17th place. So shout out to those guys. High Limit got started in Vegas on Thursday. And no surprise, Kyle Larson won on Thursday. Corey Day won his race on Friday at Las Vegas, and it did not translate to success on the O'Reilly series. He had a Thomas Soper experience on Saturday at the big track.
I still don't watch O'Reilly's. There's no way for me to stream it without having to buy that other program, so F it.
Yeah. Saturday night was Reitzel, and it was the funny thing about Saturday was Kyle Larson won the O'Reilly race on Saturday, and from Victory Circle he had 15 minutes to get over to the dirt track to get in his sprint car
and change clothes, go to the bathroom.
And Tanner Thorson ended up putting engine heat in his car, so they could be ready to go. So that was
it's time to warm the motors. I hope somebody does it.
But then
I'm still in victory lane.
The spectacular one was this crash I'm about to show, which was Schoenberg and Justin Peck.
There was a couple of good ones at Vegas this weekend, but that one was...
Yeah, this one was wild.
No.
Not that tab.
Yeah, hang on.
And my boy Rico did okay.
Yeah.
He didn't win, but, he had pair of top sevens. And I'm not sure we finished on Saturday. Qualified good, ran good, just didn't put together in the main show.
Why can't I
Aaron
find
Reitzel's my pick this year to win that championship.
No, you had to pick last week before it started. Sorry. You're vetoed.
No, I said it last week. I'll pull up the message. I'll prove it.
Hang on. All right, I'm going to stop sharing until I can figure this out. Anyway, he got in with Justin Peck and then immediately took a nasty, nasty tumble. But he got out of the car almost before it came to a stop and ran down and had something to say to Justin Peck. And I said it then that it was not a Justin Peck issue. It was a Hunter Schoenberg issue. I like Hunter a lot. We're fake Facebook friends and the whole 9 yards. But he chopped Justin Peck and then had something to say about it. I'll give us the credit. He came out and admitted he was wrong. Said, I came down. It was on me. I didn't expect Justin Peck to have a big move like that. And he came down trying to stop a slider from happening, going down into turn one, and just went for a ride. They came together at the start-finish line. He tumbled that car all the way down to turn one, and it was Jimmy May's car, a buddy of mine, and just chunked the car. I've never seen a chassis bent like that.
You're muted, bud. You're talking, but you're muted.
After watching the video from last night, I know I'm more to blame for last night's accident than Justin Peck is. I didn't think his run would be near that big, and I was trying to avoid opening myself up for a slider at the other end, and that's on me. So, to come out publicly and say that too, takes a little bit of balls too, because we're all type A. We don't want to admit that we fucked up.
I mean, and Hunter's a stand-up guy. He's one of those guys. He's a racer's racer. Ty Gibbs went for a fucking ride. What night was that? Thursday night.
Thursday, yeah.
And I'm going to put that on him, that he literally ran right over.
Well, he said he did it. He said it was my fault. I ran over his right rear. I went for a ride.
Well, he tried saying he was in the slick and I got more of a drive than I did. Well, hey, how about you get off his right rear? When two open wheel tires touch, one's rotating one way, one's rotating the other, it's going to launch you. And that's what it did. It launched him. And I'm sure that car was junk too.
I had an interesting conversation with Christopher Bell about sprint cars and late models the other day when I seen him.
Fuck off.
Enlighten us there, Soper.
I love your hat.
Yeah, buddy.
No, not
Big
that
time
one.
Sponsors.
The one in your picture.
That's not a hat. That's somebody's funny going on over there.
I don't know. I think you were wearing that on duty.
Yeah. He said, I seen him and we were talking dirt track race, and I was like, yeah, I raced too. He's like, oh, that's awesome. You should come to the Chili Bowl. And I said, well, I would, but it's the same weekend that Wild West runs, and I like late models more than sprint cars. And he said, well, why is that? I said, because them boys can get on each other and get into each other a little bit and touch and rough it up a little bit and have some fun. I said, but I will say that I do think it's impressive how the sprint car guys are able to get around each other without touching, because they know that the consequences are catastrophic, as we have seen. But I did let him know.
Yeah,
that
CJ
I like
learned that
the
too.
sprint cars.
Yep. Yep.
I don't know if Christopher Bell gave me a personal invite, I might have to show up.
He did give me an invite, so now I feel like, I should probably go.
You should go.
Hey, if he wins the cup race here in San Diego, I'm expecting a shout out, because I gave him a lot of good tips from a well-seasoned asphalt racer.
How to get around the Navy base. Did you show him where all the barrels were?
I said, hey, buddy, watch out for this corner, because this one's fucked. Watch out for that one, because that one's where the transition is.
There's a pothole on 3.
This one has fucking train tracks.
Every other week, dirt track racer gave advice to a full-time $1 million a year racer.
Yep. Yep.
But did he act like a
advice.
prick when you told him, or was he like, okay?
No bullshit. No bullshit. He took notes and sent it back to his crew chief.
Dang.
Hey, you know who doesn't do that? Decker.
Yeah, that's true. I will say this: my first year at Chili Bowl was the first year Christopher Bell won, and we're leaving the airport Sunday morning after the race, and we're hustling to get to our gate, and I'm looking, and there's a driller trophy sitting on a table, And I said, man, I didn't know they sold, replica trophies as souvenirs. And then
Huh.
I looked again, and it was Christopher Bell sitting there, waiting for his flight. I said, oh. And he
that's the real one.
he looked wore out, which my understanding is he doesn't drink, but I think had not had any sleep.
He was partying it up.
And my interactions with the guy, he's a super nice guy. I've never had a negative talk with the guy at all.
No, and he sat there and we had a 20-minute conversation about this, and there's probably 50 people behind me trying to talk to this guy, but he just kept going. If I was talking, he was talking, and we were just enjoying it. He didn't give two shits about anything else.
Yeah, and everybody in line behind you hated your guts.
Yes, they did.
Get out of the way, Chief. Fuck.
Right?
But they looked at your insignia and went, never mind. You outraged
Fuck,
me.
he's
I'll
got an
shut
acre.
up.
Hold on.
It was a good
You were
deal.
pulling rank in line.
It was a good experience. But hey, man, it was good.
And your brother was there.
Oh, Ty
Austin?
Ty Dillon?
Or Ty, yeah.
No, Ty. Ty Dillon. Yeah. Ty Dillon and Ryan Priest. And,
Tell me
and
I'm wrong,
fucking
though.
that Fitzpatrick guy. Who's that football player? Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Ryan
He was
Fitzmagic,
there.
bro.
Yep, he was there.
But tell me I'm wrong. Do they not look like brothers?
Especially when you put a beard on him.
Yeah, Soper looks gay enough to be a Dylan.
Well,
Hey,
Ty's
fuck off, buddy.
Ty's never been one for the beard. It's always been his brother.
Yeah.
Anyway, we were talking before we hit record about a female modified driver getting abused by a big fish in a small pond.
Oh, Miss One Taylor Kuhl, or soon to be Miss Matt Craft, either way you look at it. Yeah, so they're racing modifieds at Friendship Speedway. She had the high line. One of the winningest modified guys from that speedway was running the bottom. I got the video. I'll pull it up here. You guys can make the judgment call on what you think about this. So Taylor Kuhl's in the black car on the outside near the wall. The red car is Steven Fidula. He's coming off the bottom of the corner across the track pretty much. But here we go.
Do you got the other view of it?
Not pulled up, but there's one from the stands. Yeah,
The
I can
one
find
from
it
the
while we're
stands-
talking.
The one from the stands paints the better picture, because that one there looks like they're kind of already at the wall. I'll just go ahead and say it. Taylor was on the outside. He was on the inside. He comes from the bottom straight to the wall, and she was still there. Who's at fault? I think he is. He wasn't clear of her. He came all the way up the track. He got into her, and he paid the consequences for it. As far as
Well,
I mean, I won't go too deep. Go ahead.
Well, and okay, number one, he expected her to lift,
Done.
and she didn't. She didn't run it, play it.
Here we go. He washed up and she was there.
Did he wash up, or did he just go ahead and let his car run? Because
Well, he's
I
still
think he
coming
let it-
up the track there.
I think he
He
let
just
it
He
let
run
didn't
up.
stop
drift
it from
out.
going up.
Yeah.
yeah, he could have for
Is it-
sure.
He didn't lose drive. He just stayed in the throttle and let it go.
But even if we're wrong, even if it's just a racing accident, it's what he did next, which I think really makes him. I'm not shy about saying what I feel. Makes him a piece of shit because he punched her while she was still strapped in the car.
And I'll
And
I'll
I mean-
pose the same question. I'll pose the same question I did before we started recording. Nobody should get punched while they're sitting inside the car. You want to fight somebody, let them get out and fucking square up and let's go. But with women in racing and the equal opportunities that everybody wants, is that fair to wait and square up with another driver regardless of the sex? That's my question.
Well, I mean, at that point, if it's a female racer I'm tangled up with, I'm not fighting her. I'm going to find the next nearest man in her pit area, which would probably be her boyfriend, Matt Crafton, or crew chief or whoever. But if it's got to a point where we're fighting somebody, I'm not going to fight her.
Well, if you yell at
Regardless.
if you yell at her enough, you'll find somebody who wants to fight you.
That's the key right there. You call her, you call her some famous words of females, and we'll see what old Crafton says when he comes out of the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
But she's a very fast race car driver. She has earned her spot. She deserves the respect of those around her, and I think that dude was at fault. And hopefully he's looked at this video enough to realize he was at fault and apologize for.
Well, I'm interested to see if the track puts anything out about a suspension or something. Obviously it's gaining some views, and you don't really see much out of Friendship Speedway generally throughout the year. But obviously this is kind of hitting some highlights here.
Maybe it's like that McDonald's commercial. It's like, the CEO who's probably a vegan or something like that just looks so uncomfortable eating it. But everybody talks about it, kind of blows it up and gets some views. But maybe they'll let it run and just don't say anything about it, and it keeps getting traction and they keep getting some attention to their track for the wrong reasons. But now people know where Friendship Speedway is, or that it even exists.
I mean, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of people that say there's no such thing as negative publicity.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll touch briefly on NASCAR because I don't think there's the whole lot of there. I thought the race was pretty boring, as Las Vegas tends to be. Denny Hamlin won. You could argue that whether or not he was the fastest car or not, but he was freaking fast.
I mean, having to go to the back and come back to the front. I mean, shit, a speeding penalty early.
Yeah.
I mean, he held the fastest lap there for forever.
Yeah, I just don't think it was a very exciting race, and you guys can argue with me if you want.
But I
There's
can also
like
tell
a brief stint of like 10 laps that was pretty exciting when they were kind of dicing it up. Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson, they were just kind of dicing
Kyle
up.
Busch
William
got in
Byron
there.
was up there.
I will say this: I'm going to be glued to my TV next week because Talladega, they basically have put the short track aerodynamics package on these cars, so the underbody has a lot less downforce, and they have the increased horsepower again, like the short track cars do. So
They had the 900 or whatever.
I'm pretty sure, could be wrong, but. So you're going with a completely untried setup and nobody's got any notes. So
I like it.
I look for it to be a shit show, and I'm here for it.
Well, it is
I'll
Dega.
tell you this: in my conversations with Christopher Bell and Ryan Preece and Ty Dillon.
Jesus, could you name drop some more?
I feel like this is
I
going to
know.
become a theme.
It is. I'm gonna make
one time I
sure
talked to
these
Christopher
guys,
Bell.
especially Neilden needs to. But I asked him. I said, "Hey, how did you guys?" Because they ran the new short track package at Bowman Gray, but the first real change that they felt it at was Phoenix, right? So I asked them how they felt about it at Phoenix, and all of them said they loved it. The cars were maneuverable. You could get around people. You could pass. There was not a lot of aero blocking, and they praised for the changes. Now take that for what it is. They are the faces of NASCAR, and people are going to take their words and run with them. I understand that. But from what you guys saw and from what I'm telling you, do you guys agree with that? Do you believe that?
I think NASCAR went in the right direction. Softer tire and more horsepower is basically what they did. And I think that's a step in the right direction. And I think an even softer tire, if you could convince Goodyear to do it, and even more horsepower would make it better. The thing with Goodyear is they felt like they had really negative publicity when they went to a super soft tire and they were blowing tires. I forget what year it was at Indy where they were going like 20 laps and blowing tires. So Goodyear is a little bit snake bit with that, and they don't want to come with a super soft compound. They have said that that's the softest compound that they can make, which I don't believe that for a second. That's horse shit. Because
They can make bubblegum if they want.
yeah. but I think there's a limit to what they want to do because they don't want the egg on their face. So, but if you can convince the drivers to never talk shit about Goodyear, Tony Stewart, then and get them to soften up the compound, and then if you have a failure, say, hey, that's on us. We ran too much camber. We ran too low air pressure, whatever. It's not on Goodyear. If you can get them to say that, then you might get them to come out with a softer tire. More horsepower is more horsepower. These guys, they could build 1,200 horsepower NASCAR motors if they wanted to, and if the rules would let them.
Wouldn't be enough for them.
I'll tell you what, I'd love to see them with enough horsepower to spin the tires coming off the corner. And then you're really going to see who's who as far as drivers.
Mm-hmm. Yep. When you have to float the throttle out of the corner, that's when it's going to make a difference.
Yep, I agree.
Anybody feel the need to get into IndyCar? I hate IndyCar. It's pretty boring as far as I'm concerned.
It was the first race at Arlington. It was a new track for the series.
It was a street race, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a street race, and you think IndyCar, and you think of like in a street race like Nashville, the Music City Grand Prix. That was a giant shit show every year. Spent half, like 3/4 of the race under caution, but the race damn near went green to checkered with no cautions up until about the last 5 laps.
Yeah, it went like 5 laps till the first caution. Yeah.
Yeah, it was they started under caution at first. They did one yellow flag lap, and then it went all the way almost to the end with no caution. And it wasn't even a crash. It was just somebody's car just took a shit. It's probably not used to running so long without stopping or slowing down.
I saw somewhere that they had to red flag or yellow flag the race because a catering crew was pushing food carts across the track.
Yeah, I think that was in qualifying or practice. But yeah, if you look at the video, it's pretty funny because they're running with a little food trolley. And they're just running, but they're
literally physically running it.
Running with the little trolley. Like, where did you think you were? Like, oh guys, we just need to go over there. There's nothing here. This is wide open area.
Seems like a great place to cut across.
Yeah, this seems like none of the traffic's over here right now.
What's that
really
noise?
It's so loud right here.
All right. Well, I think the rest of us need to get out of the way for the next portion. Just let CJ and Phil go wild. F1 raced in China.
Yeah.
Well, let me mute myself.
Yeah. I gotta say the F1 race in China was a better race than Australia. I think it was just by the design of the track because the teams have probably learned a little bit about the battery management system. However, during the when they were coming out for their formation lap and getting set up to go on the daggone pit or the starting grid, McLaren had major issues. Oscar couldn't even get out of the pits. His car had an electrical failure, couldn't get out of the pits, wouldn't let it go into gear, wouldn't let him leave the pits. And then Piastri got going around there and pulled up, car sitting there running, and went into a different electrical failure, and the car shut down. They had to put him on the dollies, and they didn't even get a lap in. 4 cars, and to come out to a reliability. They said it was an electrical issue, reliability. Couldn't put the cars on the track. Apparently the new system is set up where because as we've talked about, the internal combustion motor and the electric motor, it's almost 50-50. And the way it's designed is if it's got an electrical problem and it's going to garf the EPU, it won't, the computer program shuts it down, won't let it run. 4 cars didn't even start the race. Max Verstappen, who, man, I tell you what, I am just like a big Max Verstappen fan. He's not doing well. Didn't qualify for shit, for normal, and complained again. Oh, the shifts, they're terrible. That guy, that's a standard line for him. But he ended up having a electrical dash. They said like something with the steering wheel failed on the car. It looked like went into a turn, come out, his dash went, or his steering wheel dash went completely blank, and car went into limp mode, and he limped it back in, and he was done. Cadillac, top 15. They finished CJ 15th and what was it, 13th? Cadillac?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I think it was Perez was 15th and Bottas was 13th.
Yeah, I mean it's you're oddly close to the points banking position when all the non-points banking positions aren't on the track anymore.
Well, yeah, and then the thing is who it was Lawson, 6th, I think Lawson was racing
seventh, and Lindblad got 12th, I think.
Right, Lindblad got 12th, but Lindblad didn't he? And then who was it? It was they had a issue with what was it? Ocon and God, who was it?
Colapinto when they banged wheels.
Colapinto, yeah, coming out.
Yeah,
and,
knocked off his barge board.
Yeah, and well, I got to tell you what, I come back. It's very rarely do you hear an F1 driver come on the radio. Oh, that was 100% my fault.
Yeah, and a French guy too. Of all the
French
people.
guy of all people, a French guy. What?
French guy took responsibility for something, didn't surrender, nothing.
Well, and then the next thing is Max Verstappen. I mean, Max Verstappen. I'm not a Max Verstappen fan, obviously. However, this is now three starts that F1 has had, and Max Verstappen cannot figure out how to get that damn car to go. Every time he stalled it, something's going on with the battery deployment or whatever. But every race, there's been at least two or three cars that have just shit the bed on the start. And
Antonelli almost did that, did it the first 2 races, and he did fine on this one.
Yeah, he screwed up because he was trying to cover Russell. He was trying to cover Russell on the start, and which allowed Ferrari to get by him. It was a good race. I mean, I got to tell you honestly, as far as going from Australia to the sprint, the China Grand Prix, I got to say, it was a much better race. The announcers are starting to get out of talking about nothing but the damn battery. Oh, the battery. Oh, the battery. Every other word out of the mouth. Deployment play. I mean, I tell you what, man, you can have a drinking game. Every time they say battery deployment, take a drink. You're going to be fucked up 5 laps into the race.
Yeah. They said that the tracks comparatively between Australia and China, like Australia was expected to be like the 3rd worst track, and like one of the worst is supposed to be Saudi Arabia, so we're not going to deal with that anymore. And I think that was the absolute worst, and the 3rd from the best was China. I'm enjoying the racing we're seeing right now, with the interesting battery deployment and the yo-yo passing and stuff, because when the teams get a real handle on these cars and these rules, it's going to go away. When we get to the summer break, it's all going to change. The benefit of getting to the summer break, though, is then they're supposed to be doing that compression test under temperature for the Mercedes, and I'm not saying that they're actually cheating, but presuming they are. And Ferrari has a better car. Their engine is.
Ferrari does have a better car.
Russell would, yeah.
Well, guys and gals, like we say, we're not professionals, and unfortunately, we had a snafu and lost the end of the episode. We hope you enjoyed what you saw, and if you want to see more, hit us up on all of our socials. We got Dirty Dot Slider, we got hats, we got shirt, we got Descript, we got Instagram, Facebook, we got it all. So come find us, give us a thumbs up, give us a thumbs down because we messed this one up on the end. Either way, we appreciate you guys watching, and we appreciate you coming. Come back and see us next week for episode 69.
Good night, everybody.